Hi everybody, how are you? Sean Ferrick here for Trek Culture. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a nice Friday. Now, we have been treated to a new image from Season 2 of Star Trek Picard. Now, I know there's been so much news recently, so what we're going to do is go through this new image really quickly, and we're just going to kind of mash everything that we know into one nice and handy video for you today. Now, before I go on, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, every time you do that, you are absolutely contributing to the growth of this channel, you absolute shower of legends. Now, let us get straight into the image. It's a bit innocuous looking. You might be going, right, okay, there's not an awful lot to go through here, but actually, as you can see, it looks like Picard is in his office, and there's a few things already that are different from what we've seen before. Let's look at the man himself for a moment. He's looking nice and fancy, lovely suit on, but look at that comm badge. That looks like an adaptation of the comm badge that was introduced in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and has turned up again and again and again throughout Star Trek since. Personally, that's my favourite one, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's lovely to see it back with a very modern twist on it. They've broken the circle that was covering the Delta. Could it be maybe an ambassador's identifier? Because as we know, Picard is this great ambassador in the future. On that topic of ambassador, have a look behind the man. We have in gold what looks to be an XL Eaglemoss model of an ambassador class starship. Now, this could be a joke on the fact that he is an ambassador class Star Trek. This could be a reference to, well, just the Enterprise itself. But we were having a talk here at Trek Culture Towers going, well, why would he have the Enterprise C and not the Enterprise D or E? And the great and wonderful Adam Cleary posited that he's an ambassador. What is the biggest turning point in the 24th century in terms of galactic, peace treaty politics and relations? Well, it's the fallout of the Battle of Narendra 3. This, of course, is when the Enterprise C responded to a distress call from the Klingon colony on Narendra 3 that was under attack from the Romulans. Their interference allowed the Klingon Empire to get a bit of a "these guys are all right" feeling about the Federation. Now that's of course dumbing it down massively. It is an enormous moment in Star Trek history, and of course anyone who's seen yesterday's Enterprise knows just how crucial that episode was to understand Star Trek overall, really. This is when an alternate version of Picard sends the Enterprise C back in time because they have come forward in time. On that ship, of course, is the alternate future version of Tasha Yar, played by Denise Crosby, who then returned as her own daughter, Sela, in the main timeline. Listen, just watch the episode if you haven't already. Massively important, and marking that by having the ship in gold out of all of the ships named Enterprise. I get it. I'm down with that theory, Adam. What we know as well is that in the Picard home, now this is based on the first teaser trailer, is that we have a whole selection of pieces of Picard's history and pieces of Trek history. We see the Promelian battlecruiser in a ship on a bottle type situation. We see the smashed Bajoran tablet that was shown in The Reckoning. Now, of course, that's Deep Space Nine, and we know there's going to be Deep Space Nine connections in Season 2 of Picard. How do we know that? So let's take the smashed tablet for a moment. What was so important about that? Well, it contained a prophet and the Costomogen, neither of whom have any interest in your linear time. In the second trailer for Star Trek Picard Season 2, we see that they have gone back in time to what seems to be the 21st century. There is a poster showing the sanctuary districts which were introduced in Season 3 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the episode's past tense. Now this is when Sisko, Bashir and Dax are accidentally thrown back in time to the 21st century. There's no accident in the inclusion of that poster. That is a crucial moment in Earth history because the creation of the sanctuary districts led to the Bell Riots. The Bell Riots led to an overall change in how basically the American government were dealing with homeless people, down and outs, people who needed help. What has never been addressed is how much time really is there between the abolition of the sanctuary districts and the outbreak of World War III. It seems to be, in Star Trek Picard Season 2, Q has created an alternate history. We see this in the depiction of Picard as quite a militaristic leader with another new uniform. Honestly, I'm gonna need to ask for a raise at this point. Like, the sheer amount of uniforms. Anyway, listen, I'm not complaining. We see him in another new style uniform with another type of comm badge. We see Seven is standing behind him as well in this alternate version of the future. And also, we see he's planning on trying to get his friends and family back home out of there. So, going back to the 21st century, what has Q done? Q has always been depicted more of a trickster than of an out-and-out malevolent force. Very early depictions of Q, and I'm talking Encounter at Farpoint here depictions of Q, when they hadn't really settled on what the character was. Yes, there really was a more malevolent feeling behind him, but that went away quite quickly, basically because John Delancey is so bloody charming. And with John Delancey returning, which version of Q are we getting? He has already confirmed in interviews that this is a different Q from the one we've seen before. Still the same character, but time has gone by, even for him. Could some of this malevolence from early Q have come back, or has more of an apathetic version of Q taken over? Especially when we see in the second trailer, Picard is none too pleased to see him. What else do we know is that the Borg Queen, this time played by Annie Wersching, is going to play a rather large part of the season. We see the crew reacting to the reveal of her, but also we see Jurati is definitely interacting with the Queen. For the love of God, Jurati, I wouldn't. I would stand well back. As the Queen proved in Endgame, she doesn't need drones to assimilate anybody. Is this a reuse of the temporal technology that the Borg used in Star Trek First Contact, which of course introduced the Queen to us? That would seem to be a very handy way of explaining how Picard and co get back to the 21st century. That is assuming, of course, that Q doesn't just transport them there. But I have a feeling that no, it's going to be the inclusion of the Borg Queen. That's going to play on the temporal aspect. We don't know yet what the connection to the Bajoran tablet is going to be. That's another potential version of time travel. Of course, it could be a red herring. It just seems like quite an odd red herring to include. The new image that was released seems to give us Laris, even though from behind, and in case I've made it in any way unclear, Orla Brady should be in every episode. She should have all of the lines, and I love her, because Laris is easily my favourite of the limited screen time characters introduced in Season 1. Absolutely love her. I love the fact that an Irish Romulan is out there using the word feckers, which is brilliant. That just makes me delighted. But yes, she's back for Season 2, and we get her and Rios and Picard at some sort of black tie event. Delighted, here for it. Absolutely great. One thing that's been completely absent from Star Trek Picard, and also this goes into Discovery in Seasons 3 and 4, where are the Klingons? What's gone on in the interim years? We've seen the Romulans in the future because of the Free State of Ni'Var. And of course, in Star Trek Picard, the whole plot around the Romulans basically takes up the first season. But for such a large beta quadrant, character, where are the Klingons? Is this because behind the scenes they haven't decided what the Klingons are going to look like yet? It's possible. It seems like it's too big of an ally not to mention. Now, with time travel, it's very possible we're not going to get any Klingons for Season 2 of Picard. Now, that has not been confirmed. That is just theorizing off the top of my head here. I do feel that by the time Picard wraps up overall, we'll get the entire TNG bridge crew at some point or another, which would include Worf, which would include, of course, the Klingons. Do I think we're going to get it in season 2? Honestly, from what we've got to go on, I don't know. I don't know from what we've got so far. So I'm not going to be holding my breath to see the Klingons in season 2 of Picard. On that, however, what we have had confirmed is a new human element in season 2 of Picard. We know Brent Spiner is back. So is this more soon? I'm actually wondering, what's Geordi up to these days? Now, LeVar Burton spoke previously about having been approached to appear in Star Trek Picard, I mean. And whether it's season 2 or season 3, no one really knows at this stage. I'm going to cautiously hold my breath for this one, because Geordi was, of course, in charge of the Romulan Reclamation Project. Not the Romulan Reclamation Project, he was in charge of the Romulan rescue attempt. And where's he been? We know, thanks to Dr. Una McCormick's book, The Last Best Hope, that he was not on Mars when the disaster took place. So he is alive, we just gotta find him. Fingers crossed, I'm cautiously optimistic that we might get Geordi this season. But yes, it's been confirmed, we are getting Brent Spiner this season. No idea how. He had said previously he was done playing Data, but, you know, if the camera's rolling and Brent Spiner's nearby, another soon can turn up. How many have we had at this stage? So it's fine. That's fine with me. One thing that will not be discussed in season 2 of Picard is the fact that he's in a Golem body. Now, we might get a passing reference to it, but it's already been confirmed that no, that storyline is done. They're not letting that take over the rest of Picard going forward because, you know, he dead, he came back again, we've done it, it's fine. Is that a tiny bit of a cop-out? Potentially. But I'd still rather have an alive Picard than a dead one, if I'm being very honest with you. Last but not least, what we do have is the release date. So March 3rd, Star Trek Picard Season 2 is back. There is going to be a crossover with Discovery. Now, I don't know if there's going to be, there probably won't be any crossover, say, in terms of storyline or anything like that, but just in terms of they'll both be airing on the same day. So yes, we have already made sure to clear our schedules for those mornings, because we will be getting you the ups and downs as quickly as possible those days. Whether it's the Thursday or the Friday, I cannot confirm just yet. So Chris, we better let these lovely people know as soon as we know ourselves, but we will be along with the ups and downs for Discovery and Picard when they both drop. Now, I am so excited. Let us know what you're most looking forward to in Picard Season 2. Drop it into the comments below, and please don't forget to get in touch with us over on Twitter at Trek Culture. And of course, you can reach out to me at Sean Ferrick on Twitter as well. Now, you might have noticed my lovely t-shirt here. If you want to get yourself some lovely merch, the link to the store is in the description of this video. I'm not gonna lie, feels nice. You look after yourselves until I'm talking to you again, folks. I will be back with any news if and when it comes in. And if there's no news between now and the premiere, I will see you at the premiere. I'll see you before then. Live long and prosper. Thanks very much.